Hey everyone, this is ZachTech10 right here, bringing you another video. In this video, I will be showing you how to make your very own drop tower or launch tower. So right now I'm here on my server, and this is just one of the towers I have made, and can't wait to show you exactly how it's done. Okay, so here we are in my single player world where I've made two examples of both the launch tower and the drop tower. So first off, there are 4 commands that I commonly use between the two rides. The first command is to summon the minecarts. The second is to deny players pushing the minecarts, but then also allowing them to push it at the end of the ride. The third teleports the minecarts up and down, so the up and down motion that you would be seeing and can obviously tell if the ride is moving. And then the third, well, I already said the third. The last command removes the minecarts, so when the ride comes to an end, where it removes the minecarts so the players can exit the ride, unless you want the minecarts to stay around, but I personally just remove them so that there's not a lot of entities in a world. Okay. I'm going to start off with the fact that both rides are, once again, very similar in the way they use the commands. It's just the way you want the ride to function that determines which commands go where. Mainly with like the teleportation of the minecarts around. So we're going to start off with the team. So first off, you got to make a team. So you got to, if you're unfamiliar with teams, so you do scoreboard teams add, and then you give it a name. So like DenyCollision. So I'm just going to do test for this video. So it added a new team test. So then what you're going to do is scoreboard teams option test CustomName, and then there are several options. So there's never, push other teams, always, push own team. I just put it to never. I will be putting these commands in the description below on just setting up the teams. So now that we have team test, when you join team test, you won't be able to push any items around, well, any entities or other players or mobs around. So since I already have a team that does that, join team DenyCollision. I'll demonstrate with this minecart that I have right here. So right now I cannot push this minecart around, but if I come and leave the team, I can push it around wherever I want, and it will obey my commands. Not really, but it just goes wherever I push it. So the reason why I have the DenyCollision is for when you spawn the minecarts, if you don't have DenyCollision, people can go around and push the minecarts and misalign them. So it ruins the look of how the ride is and overall functions, because they can push it like outside of a certain radius, so when the ride does end, the minecarts don't despawn essentially, so that they're just like stuck in the world. So that's the basics of the team collision, and it also just, so when I use the, okay, sorry, so with the team commands, I have the repeater blocks that require redstone to activate. So there's the join and then leave, which are similar to the command blocks that you saw up there, except the reason why I use a repeater instead of a normal command block like that one is in case other people, like while the ride is functioning, wander in here so they don't mess up the ride for others, or if players are escaping the minecarts, they're not pushing it around while they're still in the area. So the way I have it is when the ride activates, this command block gets activated, and when the ride comes to an end, this command block is activated. So when you leave the team, you can push entities around, so players, mobs, and other things like minecarts and boats, just to name a few. There's a lot more, but that's just the sum of it. So the next command I'm going to explain is the spawning of the minecarts. So if you notice, when the minecarts spawn right here, they're facing different directions, and also the fact that they're floating in the air. Because if I just got a normal minecart and did this and then remove the block underneath, it just falls. So I have 3 tags that you need to have in order for these rides to operate correctly. Okay, so the first tag, I'm just going to call it a tag, is you need to give it a name. So the custom name for this is V1. Of course, you can give it whatever name you want. That's just what I chose. The second tag is you need NoGravity set to 1. If NoGravity is not set to 1, it'll do, the minecarts will just fall when they get teleported up. And then the last one, it's important, but at the same time not really, depending on how you have your minecarts laid out, is the rotation 90F, or, well, basically this rotation, and then this is the value that you want it to rotate by. In this case, 90 degrees from 0. Basically, the reason why I have them rotated instead of facing the same direction is the minecarts. So if they're all facing, like these ones, if they're facing the same direction as all the others, like these ones right here, they'll be pushing each other out of the way. So they pretty much just fight with each other, and they're like, no, you can't be here. No, I'm here, and they just slowly push themselves out, which can really mess up your ride overall, and it doesn't really look that good when they go up and down, because they push out until they can't push each other, so there's usually a gap between the 3 minecarts. Now, if you're only doing 2, that's not a problem, but where I have 3, just so you can fit more players onto the ride, that is a problem. So I have it rotated 90, just so we don't have the minecarts fighting each other. And then I have the teleport command. So basically the teleport command moves the ride up and down, and it can determine how fast the ride moves as well. So this area that I'm in is for that tower that I've been showing. So this is the launch ride. So it's the faster one, while the other one is the drop tower. So it takes you up slowly and then you drop. So with the launch one, you launch up and then you come down and launch back up again. So with the launching, I have it teleport 3 blocks up for this amount of command blocks, and then it teleports you back down this certain amount of command blocks as well, and then you go back up, and then you come back down, and then right here near the end it just takes you down 1, because it's slowly going down. So you can actually see it with these blue markers. So that's every 3 blocks. So you can see it's going up and down every 3, and then when it comes back down here, it goes down slowly and then comes to a rest. So that's the launch tower. The drop tower, like I said, they have very similar commands. Just has a little bit more command blocks, mainly because instead of launching it up, so going up quickly, you're taking them up slowly, so you're going up every 1 block. So just quickly show how it is. So you can see that it goes up 1 block every time, and when it gets to the top, it'll just drop down every 3, and then it'll go back up every 3, down every 3, and slowly come to a stop. So that's how it is. That is basically how you make these rides. Well, that's the overall function of it. I mean, at the end of the ride, you notice that the minecarts did vanish. So what I do there is I kill any entities within the radius of, I believe it's 5 blocks of the center of this tower. So I got the position of this block right here, and then any entities that are within 5 blocks. So if there's a horse in this vicinity, or I drop blocks like this, they'll be killed when the ride comes to an end. So it's probably easier to demonstrate that. But one thing you'll notice with me standing here is it will not kill me. So with the kill command, you got to be very precise on making sure you add that players are not killed within that radius. So the kill command, basically you're killing at entities within X, Y, and Z in radius of 5, and then you're just denying the type player. So when type player is denied, it will not kill it, won't kill the players that are in that area, which I have forgotten that command a time or two with the denying the player part, and it does kill the player, and everyone gets mad because sometimes they lose all their stuff. So hopefully everything makes sense in this video. I mean, they are very basic rides to make, but they are much more of an improvement than just using the train carts plugin. If you use a bucket server or a spigot server now, it's much easier to do than trying to use train carts for a drop tower, and it just looks better. So that's just my thoughts on it, though. Of course, I have been on some servers that have really cool drop towers, but I prefer these drop towers mainly because it just looks like an actual drop tower. If anyone has any ideas of rides they would like to be seen in Minecraft that's not using a plugin or a mod, go ahead and leave it in the comments below, and I can see if I can make it. I've already got a few suggestions that I think would be very interesting to see be made in Minecraft. And don't forget to like the video, and don't forget to subscribe. I mean, this ride can be made in 1.8, but it gets a little bit more complicated because you need to use armor stands. But 1.10 is what I made this ride in, using the new NoGravity feature that they added for all entities instead of just being for armor stands. So I'll see you later.